Hello everyone, welcome to another video. So today I wanted to share something that happened at field day, and in the moment I didn't think anything of it other than just, Lord, this child got so lucky. But then as time went on, it really seemed like a life lesson. And so there was the basketball court, and my oldest, I don't know what she was thinking, but she just walked right through the basketball game. And the guys, there were some dads and teachers that were, yeah, baby, what's wrong? They were playing basketball with the fifth graders. And you know how that is, just a sweaty, aggressive mess, okay? A lot going on, very heated. And she just walked straight through the game. And people were calling her name like, Anna, move, what are you doing? And she it's almost like she was in a whole nother world. She got to me and she just started talking to tell me. And I was like, Mila, you didn't see you just walked through? And so one of the teachers, or I think he's a counselor, came up and he was out of breath. He was like, girl, you know you're my favorite student, right? But I didn't want to trample you back there. You got to be careful. You got to pay attention to what's going on around you, you know. And she was like, oh, okay. And I just, as innocent and oblivious as she was, I hope that she keeps that in certain circumstances and situations in life. There is a balance to everything. And for some of us, we don't pay enough attention to what is around us. Yes, when we walk right through things, and then when we succumb to our surroundings, we're scratching our head, we're crying, we're hurt, we're broken, we're betrayed because we didn't know what we walked right into. And then other times there are going to be things around us that are total chaos, total distractions, total noise to keep us from where we need to be headed and what we need to keep our eyes set on, because we're on a mission and we're very clear about that. So my daughter was like, I'm going to my mama, I gotta tell my mama something, you know. And it was sweet, but I was just kind of like, you could have been pummeled, you could have been, you know, trampled. But you can't lose that, you know, that balance as you come into adulthood. We can't entertain people, places, and things that are so toxic, that are so bad for us, that are so, just so much going on, that we sit there and say, now, how can I get away from my narcissist? How can I break up with this guy that, you know, is no good to me, good for me? How can I leave this toxic job? How can I, you know, leave this side of town? How can I move out the ghetto? How can I, you know, leave all these things that keep us trapped, soul ties and friendships that are going bad, and all these things, or the political landscape and what's going on in our local government and all these things. But those are all things that at the end of the day, you can just put your blinders on like they put on the damn horses. Yeah, baby.
Since I took one more step, she's gonna put pickles on my plate.
Autumn, no ma'am, or you can stay home. They have blinders on horses for a reason. That horse cannot be distracted. Goodbye. It's hair day, as you can tell. That horse cannot be distracted by any bright, colorful, moving thing on either side of it, because they want that horse to look forward, to pay attention to where they're directing that horse. And they've also trained this horse over time and with different, not triggers, but stimulation, that, you know, a balloon, a loud sound, a darting movement or anything is not going to spook that horse and cause that horse to harm itself. So what are some ways that we not only knowingly go get in bed with things and walk right into stuff that looks a hot mess, and then react and buck and just lose our shit and hurt ourselves, hurt ourselves emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And even sometimes with women that really go off the deep end, they catch charges. They do all these things that make them seem out of character and lashing out as a reaction to something that you still put yourself in there. We all get a second and third and fourth chance to Goodbye. I want you to go brush your teeth and wash your face because we're getting ready to go. Do you understand?
Yeah, understand.
You don't need to be back and forth in my videos. We really allow these things to tank us so deep. We allow these things to take our dignity, take our pride, take our focus and the direction of our life. Because remember, we all deserve great things, beautiful things, experiences, peace, love, blah, 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 blah. But you don't let this thing get you all hemmed up. So now that you got to do time, or you have a record, or you lost your job, you got laid off for some kind of crazy outburst, or emotional. Let's talk about emotionally. You're broken, you're bitter, you have to heal. Healing is a whole process, but when it comes from the healing where it's like it could have been prevented and it's tied to self-sabotage, that's a whole nother level of responsibility and self, like, okay, look at yourself and really analyze where you played a major role in this. And then again, back to taking this and using this as your power. So, let's use the political party. There's a lot of people that feel like by voting and being involved, you can make the change that you want to see in the world. That is your right. But I stand on no man, no position, no governor. No one is above me. No one can put me down, put me in a box, and make me subservient or beneath or feel like I am less than. By no policy, no legislation, no anything, no law, no vote, no nothing. If I don't look to that noise and then dig deep in myself and find fear, anxiety, depression, sadness, bitterness, anger, disappointment because of what's going on in that circus, that feeling will forever be, because there's been no perfect presidency where everyone's been satisfied and all this change and all these things have taken place. People can be hopeful, but for me, I use it as an example because at the end of the day, when you wake up, you know what you can do for yourself. You know what you can do within your home. You know what you can do on a local level, on a personal level. We have an HOA and they asked us to move all the trash cans off the street unless it's on trash day. Well, guess what we can do? We can go down there at the next meeting and be like, this is our community. We pay $400 or $500 a month to this association to keep it a certain way, to have a certain standard. But this right here, we do not agree with. You can't enforce something in a community as an association where you collect dues, but then not be what we want. Okay, so if we were going to ask an association, a homeowner association, to keep the lawn manicured and the flower beds, the landscapes and things, like keep the pool up, pay the lifeguards, do trash pickup and the doggy waste, those are the things that everyone has voted for in a sense and all in favor. But to ask people that have single car garages or limited space to put away their trash cans, that don't make any sense and it's not going to fly. So they're going to find at this meeting it's going to be a whole lot of like, excuse me, that doesn't work for us. And they're going to make the change accordingly. We saw this during COVID. A lot of people found the strength and the voices say, you cannot enforce me to put something inside of my body based on your fear and your perception of something that we're all learning and figuring out day by day. That was such a changing landscape with the information and the data. And for the ones that really were in the thick of it and working in these healthcare spaces, they saw the reality. Okay? A lot of people already had their own immunity built up from being in the healthcare industry anyway. You saw them catch it, get over like everything else. You saw them catch it and have such mild symptoms that now the hospitals are changing up their tune. Like, well, if you don't have a fever like this and if you don't feel like that, please still come to work, with a show so shorthanded. So why was there a mandate to begin with? Why make people fear your supposed power over them? But see, what most people did was not only stand up for their own choice, but put their blinders on. They walked through that whole COVID space of like, I love healthcare, I love helping, I love my patients, I love my team, but I don't want to put this in my body. And I won't put this in my body. So you can fire me if you want to, and until then, I'll still be clocking in on the schedule that y'all keep generating because there ain't nobody else. That was a decision that people made to be hopeful and confident, to walk through this like, we're gonna make it. We're gonna band together, socially distance somehow. I remember coming in to work one day and they had the sign, and I'm like, who is making these decisions? All the people up top at the tables that don't work any of these shifts. It was hilarious. So the sign said, try to social distance in the break room. The break room was smaller than my master bedroom. Okay. And people were like, so where am I going to eat? If you got to eat, I got to eat. And we've just been providing patient care, and we're 50% of a COVID unit. Where else are we going to go? That didn't fly. We weren't afraid of each other. We weren't afraid of sitting down, breaking bread together when we're working 12, 14, 16-hour shifts. There were some nurses that were asked to pull doubles, and they got paid, but they had to refuel somehow. It didn't make any sense. Social distance in the elevators. Okay, well, who's going to take the stairwell? You know what I mean? Like, that was a time where we decided as a unit, as a team, as a healthcare family, whether you decide to get the poke or not. If I decide not to and you decide to go for it, we're not going to be at odds. We're not going to be sitting there gritting at each other, disappointed in each other's decision. We've got patients to take care of together. We're going to double mask and get that.
I brushed my teeth on my face.
So get dressed. Did you put cream on your face?
No.
You're wearing that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so get dressed. That shirt is definitely dirty. You can wear your new clothes. Go get them.
Can I take the hat off?
Huh?
I think that.
Yeah, we'll try them on first. Try everything on first, whatever you want to wear, and then we'll cut it on after. So that's an example of how a lot of people came through that season in history. And so it is in your own personal life. You may feel like you don't have any control over his behavior, his choices, his emotional roller coaster up and down, his childhood trauma, who his mama was to him, and all these other things. But that's not your responsibility. There was a time where you didn't know him and you had other things going for yourself. So what do? You walk through or past that and be like, my life is going on. You need to figure that out. You have a job that's, it's changing culture, changing climate. You got, you're not feeling supported. You're not making the money you want to make anymore, or they refuse to give you whatever. You can say, thank you for your time. I'm going to now go breeze through this. I'm walking through this, all this. It's like jumping through a double Dutch circle and then keep on going. You're unscathed. Make that choice. Just do it. You can do it. You can do it. I've done it. You can do it. We all have that power, but you have to know that it's just common sense at the end of the day. It's just basic. Just make a decision. Ignore the nonsense. Ignore the BS. And I posted this on Instagram. Be a badass with the nice heart, great heart.
This is my last question. Do you have to wear our biddies?
No, baby. We're not doing nothing with water today.
Grandma take to use that little bucket?
She might still. We'll see. I'll call her before we leave. I'll ask her. Okay. So I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you for watching. As you can see, I got a lot of distractions.
Sorry, guys. I'm in the video. Bye.
And until the next one, good luck to you. Hang in there. Don't forget your self-love and your self-care. And until the next one, peace. Bye.